You are welcome here. You are welcome.
Good morning and welcome to Ventura Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Reverend Jennifer Gadberry Hadris, and I am the assistant minister here, and I'm the speaker today. And this lovely woman next to me is Bernie Austin, practitioner emeritus, and one of our board members. So for today,
volunteer coordinator. In case you didn't notice that the chairs around here have been cleaned by volunteers. Woohoo!
Yeah, so everybody that helped yesterday, if you would take a stand up real quick. I know some of you don't want to, but do it anyway. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So we had a lot of fun yesterday cleaning the place and laughing and talking and sitting when Karen wanted us to work. So we had fun. So welcome today. We're very excited to have you here. We love seeing your smiling faces. You are the sunshine of our lives today. So welcome to the people online, and we hope you enjoy the meeting, the series, the session, the service. That's the word.
There we go.
Right. Welcome.
Thank you, Bernie. And we're going to have Bill Hadris with Youth and Family come forward for the
Good
youth
morning.
message. Oh, Bernie.
You guys want to help me today or
Can you go
hang out?
vase
Come on down.
in the kitchen? A little vase for those flowers. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh. Awesome. Oh, they smell wonderful. Thank you. Oh. You guys want to sit down?
No, you don't have to sit. They can
No?
stand up here.
Okay. You can stand. Actually, if you're going to sit, come sit over here by me. Excellent. Thank you. Did you ever notice we constantly have thoughts? Some are dreams and some are visions. Often, we can't distinguish between them. Not all dreams are visions. Dreams never bear fruit, but visions are messages from Spirit. To have vision, one must be prepared to receive it and accept it when it comes. Spirit knows and trusts you. You must have commitment to fulfill the vision when thoughts become reality. How many of you have completed a milestone recently? Maybe finished a year of school? Oh, yeah, we got some. Perhaps survived to see another birthday? Woo-hoo! Do you look forward to the next one? Yeah. What do you think will be different?
More gray hair.
More gray hair. Working on less hair. Do you think you will make mistakes? Or, in other words, have learning opportunities? It takes commitment to fulfill that next vision. I invite you all to think for a second and ask yourself. Close your eyes if you'd like. What is your next vision to fulfill? I invite you all to repeat after me. Spirit knows and trusts me.
Spirit knows and trusts me.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
Yep.
Actually, we gotta stand first.
You are the Hi, guys. Now we'll invite Peter up for the invocation.
Just watching the joy in those children's hearts as they were running out the door to be with their community. We are building a community here. And so I invite everyone to close their eyes and just take a breath and breathe in that joy that we saw with the children, that with Bill's words. And I invite you to just put a smile on your face, a simple grin, just to start to allow the love to come in. That love that is the divine connection of God to each and every one of us. That blessed divine presence. And it is from that space that I am speaking my words. Knowing my divine connection with God, with the light, with the love, with all that is the truth of my being. And so it is the truth of each and every being here in this center and each and every single seat. And it ripples out into this community, this divine love and this divine connection that already is. And so I know that today's service, spoken through Jennifer's words, is the divine mystery and love of God that is opening up our hearts, our minds, our souls into a greater way of being, a greater presence. And that today's music, Jennifer's words, the entire service radiates in magnificent and wonderful ways. I know this service is blessed, and with that, I give grateful thanks. And with love from each of our hearts, I release this prayer into the law, knowing that good is done, and so it is. Amen.
So it is. Staying in this place of love, staying anchored in that joy and beauty that God is, that Peter invoked right this minute, this beautiful space. I invite everyone to stay in this meditative space, and relax into your chair some more, opening your heart and opening your voice for our sacred chant, I am remembering. anchoring into this remembrance, remembering this meditation throughout our life. I invite everybody to come back to the service in an open-eyed state, in love with what is, as it is, and so it is.
As God created me, I am a light in this world. I am as God created me. I am, I am, I am. I am as God created me. I am a light in this world. I am as God created me. I am, I am, I as God created me. I am a light in this world. I am as God created me. I am, I am, I am. I am as God created me. I am a light in this world. I am as God created me. I am, I am, I am.
So, today's talk title, well, how did I get here? Oh, I need this. Just not magically. First off, nope. Next slide, please. Thank you. So, first off, happy Father's Day, everybody. So if you're a father, could you please stand up so we can acknowledge you? Wonderful. Thank you so much. You're not standing up. I see you. So what do I know about being a father? I don't know. But I was like, I can talk about being a father. I'm a mom. I can do this. So, looking at the aspect of what a typical father is, I used to tell a joke when I was a kid, when I was in college, that when Bill and I first got together, my husband is the youth and family guy, and he'd be like, when we first got together, I was like 17, and I was like, I'm never having children. I was really upset that they wouldn't tie my tubes at the doctor's office. I was like, never having kids. Oh my gosh. No. And at 17, I think that is the proper 17-year-old thought process. Like, there's no way I could do that. And Bill, being a little bit more level-headed and knowing that life isn't necessarily permanent, he's like, well, could we have kids someday? I was like, yeah, okay, someday. But I get to be the dad and you get to be the mom. He was like, what does that mean? And I'm like, you kiss the boo-boos and I make the rules. He's like, okay, that sounds good. So that's not what being a dad is. But being a dad, to me, I believe, is, next slide, please, is to have someone depend on you and to be responsible for someone. I mean, that's what parenting is. You kind of make this agreement when you give birth that to this being that they can depend on you and you're responsible for them. And then you get to decide what that means for you and for them, and you flush that out as you work through it together and grow together. So I held on to that we could have kids someday. So someday Bill and I had kids, and we found ourselves here. And next slide, please. So the whole thing about not wanting to be the mom was I didn't want to pattern myself out of societal norms. And then I found myself one day making snacks for I think they were 5, 3, and 1 at the time. And I was making ants on a log, and of course, because that's what you make for 5, 3, and 1-year-olds. And I was making a snack so that they could eat the snack while I prepared dinner. Because young boys are hobbits. They eat constantly. They just, first breakfast, second breakfast, they're always eating. So I'm making the snack, and I'm thinking as I'm making this snack, I'm like, how did I get here? And I'm like muttering to myself, like, this is not my beautiful wife. This is not my beautiful house. How did I get here? Like I was just in despair. I don't know why Ants on a Log was so depressing that day, but it was just awful. And I'm just like, somebody is going to realize that I am way out of my depth. Like, give me a team of engineers, give me a multi-million-dollar engineering project, on it. Like, give me, calculus, on it. Give me 3 kids under the age of, 5 and under, and I'm making ants on a log, and I'm like, someone is going to realize that there has been a terrible mistake, and that they should not have been entrusted to me. So, if you don't know the song, it's by David Byrne, and it came out in the 80s, but the first time I noticed it in my consciousness, I was in middle school, and I used to think it was just this quirky song. And in there, he says, this is not my beautiful house, this is not my beautiful wife, and he says, you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? And it's a great song, and it's a funny video, and as a middle schooler, it was like, this is hilarious, right? This is hilarious. And then I find myself in my 30s, like, it's a mantra of just dismay. like, I'm such a fraud. I cannot believe I'm falling down every day. I have all these friends, and they have clean houses. They have 3 kids. They have clean houses. They don't cry when they're making ants on a log that I know of. And it's like, what is happening to me? So fast forward a few more years, and the next slide, if we can get the holy chorus to sing. Oh, I find myself here. We find ourselves here when the boys were 2, 4, and 6. So about a year later, answered prayer, I find myself here. And then fast forward 4 more years, and I am here. Bill and I are here. I am a practitioner. I am nailing the parenting thing. I am working full time. I am volunteering at the PTA. I am the library mom, and the kids freaking love me because I see that they are divine beings, nailing it. I'm just like walking around like, I am awesome. And I learned from Liam to sing I Am the Face of God when I felt down. I'm like, I am the face of God. Like, I'm like nailing this parenting thing, nailing this life thing. Awesome. So Bill and I have this perfect family. You can talk to some people that have been here a few years. They'll tell you they're perfect. They won't tell you that the kids used to race across the stage and there's other things that, they won't tell you about all of that stuff. They're going to tell you they're nailing it. crushing the parenting thing. I know that comparison is the thief of joy. I am not comparing myself to my friends. I am doing great. The boys are learning so many things. They are learning that there is no shame, that they need to uptake. They don't need to take my shame. If I'm having a bad day, they know it has nothing to do with them, just mom. Everything's going fantastic. Fantastic. And we find ourselves, next slide, at Gatorland. So I love this picture. This is where my in-laws live in Orlando, in and around Orlando. So in this picture, Garrett, who is at the head of the gator, they're up in the stands there. So he's 6. Then it's my niece and my nephew, Morgan and Connor, and then Liam, the big one, right there in the middle, being too cool. And then the one on the tail is Tommy, and he's 8. So there's Tommy. And we are at Gatorland, and I'm telling you, I'm still crushing it. We're at Gatorland. We are like the perfect Americana family having the perfect vacation. We are taking them to Gatorland instead of Disney because they're going to learn about animals, and we all love animals so much, and they're going to learn about conservation, and the money goes to conserve and to, for reptiles, and the boys are going to have fun, and we dressed them all alike. I mean, come on, we're it, right? So we're at Gatorland, and Gatorland's a beautiful park, and things are going great. And then we lost Tommy at Gatorland. Next slide, please. Next slide. So this is Gatorland. All that crap I just said about it being the perfect thing, the perfect vacation. No, there are open pits of gators. Go to the next slide. Open pits of gators. And I lost my 8-year-old there. Not crushing it anymore. I become hyper-focused on a lost 8-year-old in Gatorland. These are real pictures, by the way. That's like, those are people, and those are gators, like right under there. So, yeah, I have to kind of get myself together here. So yeah, Gatorland is Dangerland. Gatorland is Dangerland. And so let me give you a quick rundown. It starts out like all horror stories. In a group, we split up. Split up, and when you're in Dangerland, don't split up. Don't split up. So some of us, we all want to go see a show on reptiles. They got snakes and they got venomous stuff. Oh, the kids are so excited. So we're going to split up because my sister-in-law and my husband want to make sure we get seats. And then some children, of course, have to use the restroom. So I take the restroom pod, and Bill and my sister-in-law Laura take the seat pod. The restroom pod took a little longer than expected, so we don't sit next to each other. They're sitting far away, and we get in there. I don't want to crawl over people. We just sit down. We're just going to watch the show. It's no big deal. No big deal. We run into another family from Ventura while we're there, surprisingly, October break. So I'm talking to them, and then my husband comes up with my sister-in-law and the kids, and I look, and I count heads, and we don't have enough heads. It's like... And me and Bill look at each other at the same time and say, "Where's Tommy? Where's Tommy?" He's up there giggling, right? "Where's Tommy?" And Bill was like, "He's with you." And I was like, "He wasn't with me, he was with you." And it was like, yeah, so, do the next slide. So 20 minutes. We have not seen Tommy for 20 minutes. This is how my brain works instantly. 20 minutes in Dangerland, there's gators, open pits of gators. He's 8 years old. Like, hold on. I'm a practitioner. I can pray. Okay, so you take a breath, find an employee. Gatorland employees, I'm assuming this was not the first lost child that they had dealt with there because they just, boom. I tell them, he's in a Minion shirt, like one of these kids. He's blonde, he's this high, And on the walkie-talkies, less than 5 minutes, we had Tommy back with us. Yay! And he tells us some lame thing like, "Oh, I had to go to the restroom." And I'm like, "I was at the restroom. I went to this other restaurant." Like, what? Where were you for 20 minutes? He didn't tell me until he was 20 years old that he didn't really want to see the reptile show because he didn't want to sit down on those benches, so he went and looked at the parrots instead. All right, so not crushing it anymore. It's like, oh, that back to the, how did I get here? Someone's gonna know. Someone's gonna take my kid away from me because, I lost him at Gatorland. There's a lot of worry that comes with that. And then I remember, the next, there we go. Oh, all right. When we are responsible and have people, pets, plants, depending on us, we will fail occasionally. I know it's terrible. I don't want I want to be affirmative and be like, no, we can affirm our way. No, we are going to fail occasionally. So Bonnie likes to do a show of pinkies. So I'm not going to make you do your pinkies, but just think about, when have you failed in your life? You don't have to be a parent to let somebody down. And does it randomly come up? Does anybody else, when you're trying to go to sleep and your brain goes, hey, remember that one time when you were going to feed your friend's cats while she was on vacation, and then one of them got out, and that cat spent 3 of the 7 days of that vacation wandering the neighborhood, and you didn't know if it was alive or dead, and you didn't know if you should tell your friend when she came back because the cat was there. So, that wasn't me. That was a friend of mine with my cat. So the poor gal, she wasn't much of a cat person, and one of our other friends was like, oh, you lost Jen's cat. She loves that cat more than Bill. So apparently all of my young engineering friends in Houston were roaming my neighborhood for 3 days looking for my cat while I was in Venezuela on my birthday. So if you have a great story like that keeps you up, it doesn't have to be about it, but stuff pops up. So what can you do about it? And luckily you're here. And luckily I was here, and I was crushing it, and then I'm not crushing it. What can I do about it? And it's like, I know, I have spiritual teachings, right? I have spiritual teachings. So what spiritual teaching is going to speak to me about my failure? So I'm going to go to the great spiritual teacher, Gene Roddenberry. I know you are all thinking Jesus. I know you were, or Buddha, or, it's got to be the Upanishads or Bhagavad Gita. No, Gene Roddenberry. He's been my spiritual teacher for my whole life. I don't remember when I didn't know Gene Roddenberry. So if you don't know, Gene Roddenberry created Star Trek and the Star Trek franchise. And in Star Trek, in 1984, in the movie Wrath of Khan, we are introduced to this idea, this Kobayashi Maru that they teach all of the cadets. Quick rundown on that. So they have cadets in Starfleet. This is future times, and they have a simulation that they have to run. And in the simulation, there's a damaged ship, and then the cadets have to decide it's in peril, and if you're going to go help them, it'll put your own ship in peril. Do you go help them, or do you just watch while they get eaten by a star? And they're all Starfleet cadets, so they all race in there. And then when they race in there, something happens, and they all die. And then they do the simulation again. And then the next time, maybe they don't race in there, maybe they come around sideways or something. And then something else happens and they all die. And it takes a few times for some of these cadets to realize that the Kobayashi Maru simulation is a no-win situation. It's a simulation where everything goes wrong. And so there's one cadet, he figures this out, that it's always going to go wrong, and he reprograms the simulation so that he can win it. That was Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk is a dirty cheater. Not my favorite captain. All deference to Gene Roddenberry. But so the point of the practice, the point of the simulation, is what do you do when you fail? what do you do with that failure? It's actually a gift from Starfleet, where in a nice contained environment, they are taught that you're going to fail sometimes. And what are you going to do with that failure? That's perfect. So next slide. My favorite captain, and we can all have this discussion later. Jean-Luc Picard from The Next Generation. So the Kobayashi Maru came out in the 80s, kind of like the "How did I get here" song. And then in the 90s we get Next Generation. And in one of the episodes, Jean-Luc Picard says, "It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness, that is life." So I can just be like, "Oh, I lost my kid at Gatorland, that's life." No, I can't. Some people can, I can't. That's why I'm here. So what else? But I like that. It's not a weakness. It gives you permission. Being raised with Star Trek, you realize these people are these amazing explorers and they're amazing people, but they're still occasionally making a mistake here and there, and sometimes they lose, and it's okay, and they've been taught that it's okay, and they're not severely punished for it. They don't punish themselves. They move on. They do the next right action. So here at VCSL, we've got Ernest Holmes, who's the founder of this denomination, and he has this quote about failure: "The spirit cannot fail. So what we call a failure is merely a limited way in which we are using a limitless principle that would just as quickly work one way as another. If one has the courage and conviction and belief to look at a failure and see success, the failure will disappear and a new success will be created." So rainbows and butterflies, right? I lost my kid at Gatorland and that's a success. Yeah, just like that. Ernest Holmes said, so I can just look at it, and I'm a practitioner, and I did not do the 5 steps of prayer in a nanosecond and then instantly go to, "Please God, please God, please God, don't let him be eaten by a gator." I did not do that. I was successful. I don't think that's what that means. We're not going to spiritually bypass the actions. We don't spiritually bypass the failure. What we do is we realize that the failure is the actual threshold to the learning, the threshold to the success. So, same facts, but a different outlook. So, next slide. So what happens when we have a failure? And what can we do in the moment or later? If you're lucky enough to have that voice pop up when you're trying to go to sleep, can we lose with grace? Can we fail with forgiveness? Can we always learn? And can we always allow ourselves to heal? Maybe. I hope so. That's my hope for everybody here. But I believe that the forgiveness and the learning are what we use to heal. So in ministerial school, they tell you to not share a story until you've healed everything with it. So that's why the Gatorland story is so good, because it happened a long time ago. and they're all adults now, so, all the statue, no one's going to take them from me right now. So let's look at this with the Gatorland example. There's more gators. So I could be a good parent and lose my kid at Gatorland. Those two things can be true. It's not quite paradox level, but I think, in that moment it was, because I didn't think those two things could be true. I thought those things. But you actually can be a good parent and lose your kid at Gatorland. And then when I was doing the healing process with this, what if it wasn't about me? What if I didn't lose Tommy? What if Tommy lost us? I'm not putting the blame on the 8-year-old. I'm not going to put the blame on Bill, who sent him back with the bathroom pod because he said he had to go to the bathroom so he could go look at the birds. But what if it wasn't about me? What if it was a necessary learning for Tom? He learned the value of communication. He learned the value of trust and the value or what happens when you betray a trust. He was trusted to do something, he did something else, and then I don't remember a lot of the rest of the day, it's kind of a blur, but I'm pretty sure most of the day was me walking around Gatorland like this with my kid, because we didn't have a leash for him, but if they had had one in the gift shop, he would have been leashed. So I'm pretty sure, that he learned that lesson. So what if being a good parent is losing your kid at Gatorland? Maybe, I don't know. And allowing everyone to learn from the experience. So that's where it is. Like, you can't be a good parent and be like, yeah, I just let my kids run around at Gatorland. But you can lose one, and everyone learns from the experience. So just to make sure everybody knows that we are healed, there's us at Gatorland 12 years later. So the healing does happen. And sometimes it takes 12 years. So there's all of us at Gatorland 12. There's Tommy. He's still alive. Those are capybaras, by the way. They didn't pose for the picture, I think, is because we all had food in our hands. But Gatorland is still amazing and a wonderful place to visit. They still do amazing things. But so I'm supposed to give you an assignment for the week. And I was thinking to myself, you're going to tell the whole congregation, go out there and fail. Go out there and do something. No, don't. No. However, if you find yourself lucky enough to make a mistake this week, and maybe someone is depending on you, and something happens and you can't follow through with it. If you're lucky enough to wake up or not go to sleep because you're playing some mantra in your head about what you did was terrible, I'm going to give you this affirmation. So let's all read it together. I am grateful for my perceived failures because they have taught me the lessons I need for my current and future successes. Thank you. All right, that's it. Oh, taking a deep breath in. Letting all of any tension that story might have brought up for you, or just me, letting that just settle back down. Breathing into this moment. I know that God is all there is in everything as everything. And I know that God is here with us right now, as God is always with us, because we are each perfect emanations of God in this moment. Every single person here is God in human form. Oh. And I know that we hold this blessing in our hearts. We hold this blessing of divinity with us. I know that this spiritual truth informs our day as we go on with the rest of today. Today's Father's Day, and tomorrow the holiday of Juneteenth. I know that this blessing informs our lives, informs how we are kind to each other, informs how we are kind to ourselves, informs the forgiveness and healing and learning that is happening all the time. I know that we carry that blessing with us, and I'm grateful to know that truth. Grateful to know the truth of God in this moment, and I release my word into the infinite and universal law, and together we say, and so it is.
You have gathered your gift, and I want to hold it to your heart. Repeat after me. We trust in spirit.
We trust in spirit.
Love is the giver and receiver of all that we are.
Love is the giver and receiver of all that we are.
We offer this gift.
We offer this gift.
It is an outer expression of our inner abundance and compassion.
It is an outer expression of our inner abundance and compassion.
Our gift blesses many
Our gift blesses many
and returns to us multiplied in miraculous ways,
and returns to us multiplied in miraculous ways,
so that we may give again.
so that we may give again.
And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Bernie. Brock's going to make an announcement about his mantra concert coming up. Yay.
I'm going to need some help with that. Is there anybody here who's ever been to one of these things? Would you be willing to say a little bit about it? Anybody? What's a mantra concert? No, you can sit there. Just what's a mantra concert? It's a meditation. It's divinely inspired. Takes you to a place of peace and tranquility. Anybody else? And Bonnie loves it. Okay, you may have noticed nobody said it was boring. They're not boring. You know what the name of this room is? It's Vortex. This room is a vortex, and that's real. It wasn't me. I didn't name it that. It was her. This room is a vortex, and a poem can be a vortex, and a song can be a vortex, and a concert can be a vortex, and it's a very special kind of prayer. And we're going to do it together. So please come. See you tomorrow night, 6:30.
In the vortex. Thank you, bro. We have 2 flower dedications today. I'm going to do this one first because I think I put that one second. So Brian's going to do this one is happy birthday to my lovely Lucky, wishing you a life of joy. Love, Ed. So sweet. Happy birthday, Lucky. Lucky's the emotional support person for the tech team, so we all really appreciate her. And then our second flower dedication is in grateful, loving memory of my father, Bill Kerrigan. Love, David. Just a few more announcements. Let's see what we've got coming up. So we have the Solstice concert tomorrow night at 6:30, and Kelly, Jean, and Brock are fantastic. On Tuesday, this is a full week. So on Tuesday we have a blood drive. It's in Martha's Hall. There's a QR code on the website where you can click on that, or you can go to the American Red Cross and look up Ventura or VCSL, and it'll send you to make an appointment. They need appointments. And there's flyers at the concierge desk. So I'm going to kind of race through these. In the social hall, there's another window like this that has a Boy Scout fleur-de-lis, and in front of that is a tall desk, and there will be somebody at that desk, and they have all of this information, and they would love to talk to you and fill in any gaps that I may fail at mentioning today. So next week, June 25th, Sunday, during service, please join us for the debut of Reverend Bonnie's comedic mystical memoir, Dances with Dogs. Journalist, editor, and boxer Alicia Doyle will interview Reverend Bonnie, and there's a book signing to follow. And you guys, you're all going to want to hear that. It's beautiful. So. And then following the book signing that week, we have Sacred Imperfections, Fall in Love with Your Whole Life, a 6-week class facilitated by Reverend Bonnie. There's classes on Thursday evenings in person and Friday mornings on Zoom. And the priceless pricing, if you don't want to sign up online or you're having difficulty signing up online, we have a sign-up sheet at the concierge desk. So that's perfect. Next month, we also have a workshop coming up. Just stay tuned for a watercolors workshop on Saturdays in July, and that's going to be facilitated by Bob Lyon. By the concierge desk, we have a lost and found. So if you have misplaced a water bottle or sunglasses, or I don't know what else is in there right now, look in the basket. So, a child, yes. He's a wee bit bigger now. I don't know if he'll fit. Okay, so outreach. Here at VCSL, we have outreach partners. We work with a lot of different outreach partners. And this summer, we are teaming up with Tender Life Maternity Home, a nonprofit providing housing and services for unhoused pregnant women dealing with addiction. I don't think they have to be addicted. I think if they're homeless and they need help, the Tender Life helps them. So we are collecting diapers, preferably sizes newborn to size 3, because babies use a lot of diapers. So, and that's probably the most consistent need that they have. And all the other outreach opportunities are on our website. So we've got Family to Family, we have Lift Up Your Voice, and there's some other stuff at the concierge desk. Choir rehearsals are after service, but not today. Oh, not today. They get a day off after they did this performing today so beautifully. But normally after church on Sundays, 11:30 to 12:30. So if you would like to lend your voice to the choir, please talk with Mary Kerrigan, and she would love to have you. And then there's lots more stuff to do in the social hall after service. If you're on Facebook, please share the service with your friends on Facebook. Tell people about it. If you talk to people in real life, like some of you might in here, tell them about the church and get the word out, because we're doing a lot of good stuff here, and it's nice to see new faces. So we have hospitality, coffee, cookies. I don't know what else is in there. It'll be a surprise when you get back there. And we have a bookstore. So before you go in there, you can do 1-minute miracles in here with practitioners. The practitioners have the white stoles on, and if you need help maybe healing something, or you just want to celebrate some failure in your life, you can, or something that you don't even see as a failure, come talk to a practitioner, and they would love to pray with you. Is that it? That is it. Happy Father's Day. And happy Juneteenth tomorrow. Have a safe 3-day weekend. And with that, we're going to pray. I almost just said, and so it is, and got off the stage. No. Oh, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful life. Remembering that this is a beautiful, beautiful life. I can know that God is all there is in this moment. There is nothing but that divine intelligence behind everything as everything. I know that each one of us is this perfect emanation of God, no matter what our small selves might say. That at our core, we are divine. At our core, we are perfect. At our core, we are love. At our core, we are beloved. Every single person here. And as I know that truth, I know that the blessings that are received here at Ventura Center for Spiritual Living ripple out into this world, into Ventura, beyond California, beyond the United States. Who knows? Beyond the moon, into those galaxies that Gene Roddenberry dreamed up. These ripples of love and acceptance and kindness go out and bless all paths to God. Bless temples, mosques, ashrams, gurdwaras. Bless the atheists and the fundamentalists alike. We are all a blessing. I'm grateful to know that truth. Grateful in my heart to know the truth about every single person here. Grateful to know the truth about God in this moment, this God of love and kindness. And I release my word into the infinite, universal law, and together we say, and so it is.